Hello, my name is Crystal Pellerin. I'm a registered massage therapist and have been for just over 6 years. I want to share this incredible tool, too good not to share. It's called the Trigger Point Massager. So I want to explain also what trigger points are. Trigger points are hyper-irritable areas within a muscle, and they usually get caused by some type of stress to the area, whether it be overuse, overstimulation, weakness, tightness, you name it. And they follow, the pain will refer down into specific areas following the nerve pathway. For example, the trapezius. So the trapezius muscle, very large muscle here, and goes down halfway through the back. The trigger point, there are actually 7 trigger points in this muscle, but I'm going to go over the most important one that I find on the majority of my clients. It's basically in the middle of your neck here, and this referral pain, it wraps around your ear and shoots into your temple. So it feels like a headache, but it may not be exactly a headache. It's literally just the trigger point activating the sensation of a headache. So I'll be covering the most common trigger points. There's far too many to cover in this video. There's over 650 in the body. So we'll go over the most common conditions associated with these trigger points. The purpose of this video is to show you this awesome tool that can help relieve some of your pain, but it is not to replace your healthcare provider or professional that you're seeking treatments from. It can be used in conjunction with the treatments that you're receiving. Many of my clients have purchased this tool that I recommended, and they've learned how to use it. They've downloaded the app, and they are able to help relieve their pain on days that they're not able to see me. I also want to mention that you might want to consider other factors causing your pain, such as lack of movement and exercise, along with nutrition, keeping your diet on point. There are many foods that cause inflammation, and stress. Stress is a big one, causes a lot of physical pain. So find something that relieves your stress, whether it be yoga, meditation, qigong, whatever works for you. So I also want to mention 2 really cool apps to download as well. They show you the areas and the trigger points located in the muscles, how many that you have. And you can click on either the location of the body, and that'll refer you into specific trigger points, muscles that have those trigger points, or you can click directly or search for a specific muscle, and it'll show you where they refer to and where the trigger point actually is. It's really important to educate yourself so you can help relieve some of your pain instead of relying on others, or only relying on others to help you when you feel pain. All right, let's get down to it. So let's start with this tip. So this tip here is meant for the trapezius, as I mentioned previously. So the most common knot in this muscle is closer to the neck, but in between the neck and the shoulder. The important thing to remember when you're locating a trigger point is it's very tender when you locate it. So you move the stick around, and in this area, it's a very hard knot. You can find it very easily. So you find that knot and you just push down. The great thing about this tool is that you don't need a lot of strength. The tool does all the work for you. So you press down for about 30 to 60 seconds, and you'll feel the pain diminish. As it diminishes, you know that you've released that knot. Now, what I also like to do, and when I'm treating clients, is dig into it a little bit after you've released it. Just ensure that you've loosened it up. So you can dig into it, forward, sideways, just for a few seconds after, and that knot is released now. So that is most important muscle to use for this knob. So then we have this knob. Let's go down the stick. So this knob here, this one's meant for the foot. It's hard to show you here, but basically you just step on it. It's really in the middle of the foot. Step on it and you'll feel that tender spot. 30 to 60 seconds, hold on, and then release, and that trigger point is released, and that will take away a lot of your foot pain that you experience. So the next knob that I want to explain is this one here. It's shorter. There's a longer on the other end of the stick. So this knob here is good for muscles that are easily accessible with the stick but hard to reach without the stick. So for example, the deltoid, the middle deltoid here, if you have a lot of shoulder pain, you can release the muscle here. All you do is, again, find that spot that's tender, press down, 30 to 60 seconds, and you release it. Another area are the pecs. So a condition that I'm going to explain that is very common is head forward, rounded shoulders. This is usually seen on the majority of my clients and is caused by usually some type of job like driving, for example, or sitting at a desk, sitting at a computer for most of the day. We have the rounded shoulders and the head forward. Very, very common. So what causes that is basically all the muscles become fixated in that shortened position. So for example, the pectoralis major, that muscle would be shortened. And so by releasing this area here, it opens up your chest and you're able to put your shoulders back easily. So again, find that location, find that tender spot and press down. This can also be used for this or the long version. I like the longer point for the lower body. So the rectus femoris, it's a quadricep muscle here. It's just on the outer portion. Find that tender spot. Now this trigger point refers into the knees. Press down 30 to 60 seconds and release. The next area I'm going to explain. So now let's get down to the middle of the stick. There's two knobs there, as you can see. So this is meant for the QL muscle. So that is lower back muscle. So it's just located just above your hips. So again, you find that tender spot and you pull forward. 30 to 60 seconds and released. Next that I want to go through, so then we get down to the other end of the stick. Then we have these two knobs right here. So these are meant for the suboccipitals. So these are muscles that are located in the base of the skull. So you find that tender spot. Now there's 6 little muscles here, and these muscles are often the cause of migraines, as long as it's not, other causes if it's muscular. So, and this will also refer into the back of the head and goes up a little bit into the middle of the head. So you find that tender spot, pull forward. And then you can also go down into the erectors here. So these are other muscles that are very weak when you have the head forward posture. So you find that spot, pull forward. 30 to 60 seconds. All right, so let's get to the end of the stick. This is the last knob, yay! This one here has a pointy tip, okay? So this one is meant for muscles like the levator scapula. So this muscle here is right on the corner of the shoulder blade on the inner portion, and this muscle is also affected due to the head forward posture and rounded shoulders. So you find that tender spot, you can locate this one pretty easily. It's right on the tip of the shoulder blade, and if you roll over it, you can feel a hard spot there. So you find that tender spot, pull forward and release that. And then you can also use this tip for the rhomboids. These muscles are located in the middle, right beside the shoulder blades. So it's in between the shoulder blades here. So there's about 4 trigger points on each side. You find that tender spot, pull forward. Another muscle that is affected due to the rounded shoulders, because that is a very weak muscle. So when you have the rounded shoulders, this muscle is stretched, it's overstretched, so it's a weak muscle, but it does also have the trigger points activated. And then you can also use it going down the spine. So going down the spine here are all of the erectors. The erectors are affected, these are core muscles, so they usually are in a problem area for many people. So you find that tender spot, pull forward. As you can see, right beside the spine. But these muscles go quite far out, so they go from the spine and all the way out. So you find that tender spot, pull forward. And then you can use it as well for the piriformis muscle. So let me explain a condition that is highly misunderstood. There is sciatica. So sciatica is a nerve compression of the sciatic nerve, and it's caused usually within the lower back, so within this area here. And it's caused by some type of stress. Many people get a disc herniation, and that would cause it. Now, there's confusion between sciatica versus piriformis syndrome. So with sciatica, you would typically feel pain in the lower back area, possibly into the glutes and down into the legs, and it could possibly even reach the toes. So you could feel numbness and tingling going down the legs. But when it comes to piriformis syndrome, that is a nerve compression of the sciatic nerve, but it's due to tightness or hypotonicity, which is an increase in tone of the piriformis muscle. So that muscle goes diagonally across the glutes here. Now, if that muscle is too tight, it increases the tone, and then it basically sits on top of the nerve, the sciatic nerve, and it causes the same sensation. But you would feel most of the pain in the glutes versus in the lower back. And then the same sensation possibly going down the leg, numbness and tingling. So to release that, you find that tender spot. It's usually basically right in the middle of the glute. Find that spot, pull forward. And then this tip here can also be used for the hamstrings, because again, a strange spot to release on your own without this tool. So down the hamstrings, find that spot, pull forward, and same with the calves as well. Thank you for watching my video till the end. I hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to follow us on our Facebook group, where we share helpful tips with nutrition, meditation, fitness, and our all-natural product line. We're also on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe. Happy healing!